Good morning, guys. Oh, it's been a good morning. Played Hearthstone. Got some new cards on Hearthstone. Only because I was able to open up a new pack and it had a legendary and a rare in it that were really good for my hunter deck, so that's good. I was able to disenchant some other cards to get some new cards for the warlock deck, so that's also good. But now I'm getting ready to make bacon. See? Bacon! Bacon, 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 bacon. Im's going to be leaving us today at around like noon or so whenever we get done eating. We need to run to my parents' house because I want to drop off that salsa, and apparently I have a bank card waiting for me, so I'm going to get that. Other than that, we really don't have much planned. I'm going to do some laundry today, so don't work or anything. We might run someplace today, I don't know. We don't really need a Walmart run because we're doing good on food. We were in Ashland yesterday, so we did all that. Yeah. Other than that, I have no idea what we're doing. I'm going to make bacon, possibly pancakes, haven't decided yet, and eggs. So we'll see what I'm doing for that. Because, well, I'm hungry. And I haven't made breakfast in a couple days, so yay. I did have Visalis technically for breakfast, because technically it's like a little after 10 o'clock, so this is more like brunch. So this will be our brunch. Which brunch is good. I like brunch. It's not quite lunch, but you can have breakfast foods. Granted, you can have breakfast foods whenever you want, but it's socially acceptable to have breakfast foods for brunch. But sounds like my pan's hot enough now to start the bacon, so time to start cooking. Bacon's cooking, smelling good. And I came up with a question I wanted to ask you guys, because I know how I feel on it and how it affects me. I'm wondering how it affects you guys, especially my male viewers, but this also goes for female viewers. I'm on Tumblr a lot, and there's always a lot of pictures of guys that are in really good shape, skinny, sometimes hairless, sometimes with just a little bit of hair around the chest, but always have a full head of hair, and other things that are just like really good. But it makes me feel a little self-conscious about myself. It makes me not like how I look. It makes me feel that my body's not good enough. And it makes me want to like not eat as much or try to spend more time working out. And it also, in a little way, causes a little bit of depressive thoughts of, I'm never going to look that good. I don't look that good now. Why would anybody like me if I don't look this good? Granted, I know, it's all superficial and stuff like that. That's why I don't let it keep me down. But it gets me down every once in a while. And I know women go through the same thing when they're looking at the female models and stuff like that. I'm wondering if other guys feel the same way when they see the pictures of these really attractive guys. Even the straight ones, they could comment on this too, because this affects straight guys too. And it seems like it's becoming more and more prominent. If a guy doesn't look a certain way, we're looked at as not as good as others. Or if we don't have certain features, we're not as good as others. What's your guys' opinions on it? Because I do feel that it is being put out there that guys have to look a certain way and have certain features about them, otherwise they're not as good. Sorry, I gotta open the door, it's getting a little foggy in here because I'm cooking. I just want to know what your guys' opinion is, but getting ready to flip the bacon. Wow, it's getting kind of smoky in here. Only because the bacon's cooking up well. A follow-up to what I was saying about physical appearance. It does seem in at least gay communities, physical appearance is huge. If you aren't in shape and looking good, you're classified as someone that just doesn't really need to be noticed, ever. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think I'm ugly. I think I know I have some unattractive features, but I'm working on those. And I have a lot of attractive features. At least I like to believe I do. But it does seem superficial stuff is becoming really important to the gay community, and it is spilling over into the straight community. At least that's what I see. If any of my straight viewers would like to comment on that, I would love to hear. But, yeah. It's like looks really shouldn't be that important. I agree that we should be healthy. You don't have to be skinny to be healthy. You don't have to be ripped to be healthy. I like to classify myself as healthy. Granted, I want to get a little healthier, but I still classify myself as healthy. I eat relatively healthy. I don't get sick that often, besides allergy stuff that causes me to cough. But that should be fixed when I go up to the Akron, Kent area, because I won't be hit with all the pollen I get hit here. But just wondering what you guys think. But time to flip the bacon again. Well, bacon is done, and pancakes are coming along. Haven't decided if I'm making eggs or not with it. I might. Depends on how many pancakes I end up making. So far I've gotten 3. I'm making a few more pancakes than what I normally do because we have M here, so we have extra people. Well, I didn't really make that much extra bacon, only because, well, you don't want to have too much extra bacon, otherwise we're not going to have any bacon for later. I have a feeling we'll have some pancakes left over. But yeah. These are the pancakes I got from Athens. They're the log cabin ones. They're all natural pancakes made with real whole grains. If it focuses, there we go. Yeah. They're good. I like them. Granted, it is wheat, but that's okay. I'm allowed to have some. I didn't really have that much wheat yesterday. And of course I'm using the log cabin all natural syrup, no high fructose corn syrup. Because real syrup is so much better. Tastes so good. Got it on my fingers. But yeah. Ooh, pancake's about ready to flip. You can always tell when a pancake's ready to flip by the bubbles on the edges. When you start seeing those getting like that and they leave little holes, it's ready to flip. Hey guys, here at my parents' house. Here's Bandit. How you doing, Bandit? How's my big guy? Over there is Rex. They're my parents' 2 dogs. My parents live in Kentucky, so we had to cross the river to get here, but it's not that far away. And of course it's windy here. But yeah, have the salsa for my dad. We have a 47 Ronin for my father. We're gonna hang out. I don't know if, I think my mom's here, so we'll see. Oh, and there's Dad. So, here at my parents' house, hanging out with my dad. Hanging out with Daisy. Yeah, Daisy. Yeah. Who's a cute Daisy? Oh, she's sliding. She's a rambunctious little one, but yeah, everybody tries to avoid the camera. Ooh. We're talking about what we're planning on doing for the summer and everything. And what's going on with Shawnee State and all that stuff. And Daisy's just being Daisy. Yeah, such a cutie, aren't you, Daisy? Vicious little Daisy, too, aren't you? Yes, she is. Mom's asleep upstairs, so we're hanging out on the lower floor, so we don't wake her. But we're thinking about going to the cemetery, our version of the park, and walking around some today so we get some exercise, work off those pancakes. Other than that, we have no idea what we're doing. I'm going to continue petting the puppy. Well, done at my parents'. Now we're walking to the cemetery/park because it's one of the few places. Now granted, there's sort of a park over there.
Mountain Park.
Yeah, Mountain Park, but it's not really anything to walk around. But just traveling up 17th Street. We're now in the better part of 17th Street, away from the hoopties and the drug areas. And it's a nice day. It's in the low 40s, so it's a little nippy, but not that bad. And I'm enjoying the fact that I can actually button this blue jean jacket and it not feel tight. There actually be room to move. Saw a squirrel out who's sitting behind a chain link fence looking at us going, "You can't get me. You can't get me." A lot of people are out walking their dogs. We're talking about when we move to Akron and Kent, all the different stuff up there. Speculating on what could happen, what we could do, what we hope to find. All that fun stuff. But we're enjoying our walk. We're being healthy. We made it to the cemetery. Yeah, it's kind of bleak and depressing because, well, it's a cemetery. But there's so many just little paths everywhere that it's a good place to walk. And it's actually really nice in the summer because there's plenty of shade. And in a way, we're showing some respect to the people here because we do read the names. We do acknowledge they existed. But most of these people, we have no idea who they are. But this is actually a really old cemetery. There are graves here from the Civil War. So it's actually a really cool one. And there's a cool house up on the hill. Let me see, I don't know if I can zoom in enough. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop walking for a second. There it is. Cool house up on the hill. See? We're down here in the cemetery, all the way up there.
It's like Wayne Manor for Portsmouth.
Without Batman. Because Portsmouth doesn't have a Batman. We have a fat man. But he doesn't solve crime. Unless you want to count some of our police officers. But it's like we've gone through here and we've found gypsy graves, Mason graves, Catholic, Jewish, Chinese, all the different types. There used to be a tree here we called the giving tree. It had a big natural hole in it that you could place things in there, and shiny things would appear in there because of all the squirrels. So it's like you give a little when you walk in. You put a couple nuts there, you put a coin up there for the squirrels to take, and good things happen. There's also a couple catacombs up here that are kind of cool. They're usually flooded, but they're kind of cool looking. But yeah, chilling in the graveyard. Just to show some of the interesting history that you can find in this graveyard, we have this woman here, Bessie Tomlin. She was the only victim in the Portsmouth, Ohio, only victim in Portsmouth, Ohio, of the Great Ohio Flood in 1937, when the river crested at 74 feet. Let's see, Mrs. Tomlin's rescue boat overturned and at 10th and Waller Street, but she was able to hold 18-month-old Albert out of the water until fireman Lieutenant Walker Chick could grab her. Then Mrs. Thompson disappeared beneath the water. So she sacrificed herself for a child. It's good that we can remember her, and it's interesting they gave her that type of tombstone. It's nice, actually. It's like she sacrificed herself for that baby. But yeah, just showing some of the interesting history you can find here in the Portsmouth Cemetery. Which I always find cemeteries interesting because you can find interesting ones. You can figure out when plagues hit the area or when disaster hit. Sometimes you can find stories like that one, and they're cool. There's actually one place here where there's a whole bunch of baby graves from the bubonic? Spanish influenza. And you can actually see that these were all the children that died because of that. Unfortunately, it's actually formed into a spiral. They were trying to put it into a circle, but it formed a spiral, so it's kind of creepy in that sense, but it's still kind of cool when you think about all the history that you can find. But yeah, still walking. Okay, we're here at another landmark in the Portsmouth Cemetery. We have the lady, and Tom's going to tell you the story about the lady.
The weeping lady basically was the wife of a fireman, and if you look from where her eyes are positioned and you go around over here,
yeah, I'm trying to get it zoomed in,
you see the fire tower of the old firehouse. The idea was that she would always look for her husband to raise a lantern at night to basically say goodnight to her, because he was on night shift and whatever else. So the idea was that she would always be able to watch and see him at work. When he died in the fire, the light appeared in the firehouse watchtower days, weeks, months after he died. And the thing basically was he was just telling her goodnight. So when they buried her, she wanted to be able to see the light in the fire tower even though she was dying. But the theory was that she couldn't look at it for so long, so her eyes are bowed.
See? Cool stuff. Now, granted, is it true? Maybe. We don't know, but it's still a cool story. We like it. And we always like to walk by her and show her off to people because we got a lot of Whovians, and they're a little freaked out by her. And if you watch Doctor Who, you'll understand. Okay, we're at the next landmark, and this one actually is not a tombstone of any sort. We call it the Watching Lady. If you look on top of that tree, there's a bunch of vines. And see how it looks, you got the head going down the back and her butt. In the summer, when there's leaves, it really does look like a treant or a lady made of vines up there. And she's facing the gate, watching over it. What's weird though is in the last 2 years, she's moved. She's actually looks like she's climbing down from the tree. Her butt used to be higher up, and now she's climbing down. And we're kind of like, this is really weird. Granted, it's probably just the growing of the vines, but it makes you wonder. But yeah, that's the cemetery. There's a lot of other little things here and there that we come across that are kind of cool. Names that we recognize. Names that just look interesting. Oh, and something I didn't know, and Tom pointed out to me. If you've been to a cemetery and see this land that's kind of bricked off, granted these are stair-stepped, but they're not always stair-stepped. It's actually for the Catholics. That's holy ground. That's ground that they have sanctified and said, hey, this is holy, we can bury Catholics here. No one else, just the Catholics. So, some strange facts, just in case you didn't know. Because I know I didn't know until he told me. I just always figured, okay, maybe that's marking a family plot or something. But now you know. Good evening, guys. It's only 11:30, but I'm getting ready for bed. Im's already gone home. Of course, I've already mentioned that. For dinner, we just kind of snacked around, ate some of the stuff that we had left over. Watched disc 2 of season 7 of Will and Grace, just because. And I'm watching YouTube stuff now. Well, I had a good day. Hope you guys had a good day. Tomorrow I do work 3 to 9, so I'll be recording some then, of course. Make sure you leave comments on the subject I was talking about earlier today, about appearances and how it affects things and stuff like that. So, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Night.